All right, so welcome, and we will start sitting in Sukhasana with the crossed legs. So we'll just need a couple of blocks today. And using those arms alongside or a little behind, lifting up. Oh, and I haven't mentioned the other option, I think, in a while. Another option is you can hold on to your knees. You can also get a lifting up and a squinging from there. And sometimes maybe that might work better or feel more like what you need at this moment. And then you will finish with whatever we're doing, letting the hands come to rest on the knees. Inhale and exhale, pouring down the sides of the neck off the tops of the shoulders. Slowing down your breath. Letting the rest of the day slip away. Just being here in your body with your breath. And then we will reach out wide through the collarbones, through the fingertips, shoulder blades anchored in the back, breathing the arms up and breathing the arms down. And doing that twice more. And then let's take a twist to the right. Inhale, lots of space. Exhale, twisting into the space. And we're going to reach through the right arm. The left hand's going to get hold of the right knee. We're going to swoop that right arm around into a side. And a big lift up, changing the cross of the legs. And let's twist to the left. Inhale and exhale. And then reaching back with the left arm. Right hand sort of gets hold of the left knee as we swoop that left arm up and over into a side. And a big lift up. And let's come forward and over. Breathing into the back of the body, into the side body, big round breaths. Up, unfurling the spine vertebrae by vertebrae, back up on top of the sitting bones. And then sliding the legs straight out in front, Dandasana. Giving a lift from behind with the arms again. Pressing forward. This way. Big yawn in the back of the knees. And then coming forward any amount. Maybe still pushing with the arms behind or hands on the legs or on the floor. Using that breath to gently encourage more space. To soften any resistance. And then, yep. And we will come up in downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, walking the dog or anything else you want to do. And then finishing up with that dog walking. And here we are in the best downward facing dog of this moment. Nothing moving but the breath. And coming down, sitting back into child's pose. And then coming up into simplified Virasana, unfurling the spine up to sitting on your heels. The tops of the feet are suffering too much here. You can always tuck the toes under or just be a little lean forward with some support from the arms. All right. Flowing through the center line, pouring down the sides. And then we will ripple, lifting that upper chest up, reaching forward, contract and rounding back. So of course, another option here is to be doing the more usual cat and cow if for some reason the knees or the ankles are not happy in this position today. And one or two more ripples. And then we will slide out onto our stomach into the Sphinx. Pulling back with the elbows, pulling back with the hands, reaching back through the toes. Maybe there's a little bit more lift and the elbows can lift or lighten, pulling up and back with the back muscles. And then coming down, forehead on the hands, deep breath. And making our way back up to downward facing dog. Maybe a couple of ripples along the way. And then let's lift our right leg up, reaching long through the heel, reaching down through the left foot, really feeling your three-legged dog, because that's pretty much all we're doing, is three-legged dog here. And then we're going to reach down with the right leg. Big toe touches the left heel, and stretch the right leg back up as you stretch the left heel even more to the floor. Let's lower and lift 3 more times. Taking a breath down, taking a breath up. And then twice more. As the leg goes down, it gets a little longer. As it comes up, it gets a little longer. And then once more. Setting that foot down next to the left. And let's lift our left leg up. Nice strong arms, reaching down through the right heel, pressing back and up with the thighs, both the right and the left. And then reaching down with the left leg, big toe to the right heel, and lifting back up. And then we'll do that 3 more times, or as always, number of your choice. And then we will finish with that leg lowering and lifting, and then one final lower, bringing the left foot down next to the right, downward facing dog. Coming down, sitting back in child's pose. Coming up, unfurling the spine, back up into simplified Virasana. Sitting very actively here in this simple position. And then we'll ripple again. Let's go the other way. So contracting back first, and then diving forward, leading with the upper chest, coming up and over. And contract and come up. Adapting this as needed for your knees and ankles. And then we'll ripple it maybe about 2 more times. And then we're going back out to the Sphinx. Sliding out onto those forearms once again. Engaging with the legs as well. Bridge posing down into the floor. Being active and attentive in this shape as well. And then really pressing the tailbone down into the floor. We'll bend the knees, reaching through the toes, squeezing the heels and upper back toward each other, lifting up, and then extending the legs down again. We'll do that 3 times. Inhale and exhale, pulling the legs in. Inhale and exhale, extending them out. So it's up to you to put the intensity in here, pressing the tailbone toward the floor, squeezing the inner thighs toward each other. And then we'll finish with that. Maybe there's a little more lift in the upper body. Maybe there's a lot. Sometimes I find there's a lot after doing the knee bending. And then coming down, forehead on the hands for a breath or 2. And coming back up, downward facing dog. And we can just hold this downward facing dog for another breath or so, or going through a vinyasa, any version. And downward facing dog. Let's lift our right leg up. And this time we'll dog at the high fire hydrant, bending the knee, opening the right hip, left inner thigh stays pressed against the center line. And through to the lunge. And then we will come up in either the high lunge or the warrior number 1. And circling those arms all the way around and back up overhead. Namaste in front. And namaste into the floor. Picking up the right leg in the hover plank, or maybe just stepping to downward facing dog, and then we'll swoop that right leg up, 3-legged dog. And then through to the shin lunge, like we're going back to the hover plank and then slide along the shin. Maybe using blocks under your hands or the gorilla hands if you want. Pressing back through the left heel, lifting up in the front of the body as much as you can, reaching the sitting bone for the right heel. And here we are. And then rolling onto the right sitting bone and into the half dragon fly. Letting that left leg adjust so you can be sitting evenly on both sitting bones, maybe a block under your right knee. And let's come forward between both legs, one long leg and one short. And then come. And we'll do our Vriddhajanu Shirsasana, little flow thing back and forth a few times. So we inhale and exhale, twisting to the right toward the short leg. Left hand onto the left leg, reaching out, reaching up and over with the right arm. And then a big lift back up through the top of the head. And let's do that twice more. Inhale and exhale to twist. Inhale and exhale, left hand on the left leg. So we're doing this a little slower than sometimes I've done it. Inhale and exhale up and over. And then holding for somewhere between 3 and 5 breaths. Actually, I didn't mean 3 and 5, I meant 6 and 10. And big lift up. And then once more. And twist. Reach back with the left arm. Lifting up and over. Breathe and deepen. And coming up. And we'll swing that left leg around and expand up into the forward bend at the front of the mat. Pressing the feet into the floor, lengthening up. And a concave back. Inhale halfway out, exhale, pouring over. And then coming up to standing, big front body yawn. Pressing the arms down and hands around to Namaste in front. And let's do a half sun salute, coming into the forward bend and back up again. Big inhale, lifting up. And exhale, diving. Concave back. Holding the breath. And back up to standing. And around to Namaste once. And then we will tree pose, bringing the right leg up. Over here. Let's see. I'll do my real right leg. All right, bringing the right leg up in the tree pose. So we have our half dragonfly standing up. Reaching along and down through the left heel, reaching out through the right. And then bring that right foot down. Deep breath. Here we are at the front of the mat. And then we will take a circle with the shoulders to interlock the fingers behind. Lengthening up the front of the chest to lift the chin. Coming forward and over, pressing back through the hands. And releasing the hands. Concave back, folding over, jumping or stepping back, vinyasa, downward facing dog. And then around to the other side. You don't have to turn on your mat though, just the other side left, lifting the left leg up. And then bending the knee dog at the high fire hydrant. And through to the lunge. Coming up into either the warrior one or the high. And circling the arms all the way around and back up overhead. And namaste. Namaste into the floor. Picking up the left leg in hover plank, or maybe just stepping to downward facing dog. And then we'll all be lifting our left leg up, three-legged dog again. And through to the shin lunge, like you're coming through to the hover plank and then sliding along the shin. Pressing the left sitting bone down, reaching back through the left heel. The left foot might end up sliding back a little more when you get here. Finding that balance, you might be on a big diagonal forward as you try to both keep that right leg straight and lift up as much as you can in the torso. And then we'll sit off onto the left hip and into the half dragonfly. One long leg, one short leg. Getting even on the sitting bones, doing whatever you need to have that. That's what's important. And then we'll come forward. And come up. And we will twist to the left. Inhale and exhale. Anchoring the right sitting bone down, reaching through the right heel. And then reaching back through the right arm onto the right leg. Lifting up with the left. And then up and over, making lots of space. And coming up, long through the top of the head. And we'll do that twice more. And twisting left. Reaching back with the right arm up and over. And coming back up. And then once more. And twist. Right hand, right leg up and over. And coming up. And bringing that right leg around into the forward bend at the front of the mat. And concave back halfway up. Inhale. And exhale, folding. Coming all the way up to standing, big front body yawn. And around to Namaste. And let's do another half sun salute. Big swoop up. And diving. Concave back. Folding over. And coming back up. And around to Namaste. All right, then tree pose with the left leg. So I'm doing my real left leg over here. Reaching down through the right standing leg, bringing the left leg up. Here we go, our half dragonfly standing up. Long line from the left knee into the right heel, into the floor. And let's bring that left leg down. And then let's repeat our tree poses. So we will bring the right leg up. Now usually we bring the outside leg up, but I'm just going to stay here, same way on the wall. All right, bringing the right leg up, reaching down through the left leg, back up and out the right knee, and then of course out the top of the head. You want to try a different arm position, maybe arms overhead, out to the side, or whatever you can make up, go ahead. We'll finish with this side, lift a little higher to bring that right leg. And then bringing the left leg. Reaching down, lengthening. And then reaching a little higher, and we'll bring that left leg down. Inhale and exhale, Namaste, steadiness. And here we are at the front of the mat. And let's release the hands to do the interlocked fingers. Big circle with the shoulders, interlocking the fingers behind. Lengthening up the front of the body to lift the chest, to lift the chin. And coming over. And then releasing the hands. So we're not going to jump back right away, but let's take a concave back. Inhale, lengthening out, exhale, folding over. And we'll step back with the left leg. We'll come up in our warrior one or high lunge once again. Any minute now we'll come up. And circling the arms all the way around and back up overhead. Namaste in front. And into the floor, stepping forward. Concave back, halfway up. Folding over. Stepping back with the right leg. And coming up in the high lunge or warrior one on the left. And circling the arms all the way around and back up overhead. And Namaste in front. And into the floor. Stepping forward. Concave back. Folding over. And then we will continue back to downward facing dog. Through the vinyasa. Got to say that. 4 minutes. And let's lift our right leg up, reaching long through the heel. Dog at the high fire hydrants. A hover plank, knee forward. And lifting back up. Through to the lunge. And warrior number 2. Checking the alignment of that knee. Shoulders down, a little more lift from the center. And then let's tilt right into the triangle, straightening the leg, tilting the torso, and then the right hand finds the right leg, or maybe the floor or a block. And then reaching the left arm over the ear, pulling the left hip back a little. And then pulling down and around to the wide leg forward bend. Ujjayi Padottanasana. And then lengthening out, and we will come up to standing here, big front body yawn. And arms to parallel. And let's rotate our right leg out 90 degrees again. And into the warrior two, inner thigh to inner knee over the foot. Feeling like the hands are resting easily on something. Holding yourself up from the center, not from the shoulders. And then just tilting into the triangle. Reaching left arm over the ear. Pulling the left hip back. And then pulling down to the lunge. And we'll step back to the plank through the vinyasa, downward facing dog. And then we'll do the left. Lifting the left leg. Dog at the high fire hydrants. And a hover plank, left knee forward. And lifting back up. Through to the lunge. And warrior number two on the left. Checking the alignment. Checking in with your breath. Like we do sitting in Sukhasana, lift through the center line, pouring down the sides of the neck, off the tops of the shoulders, out the fingertips. And doing a nice simple tilt into triangle, but really feeling that, pulling the left leg up, just tilting the torso. And then the left arm maybe makes a little adjustment to find the leg, the floor, or a block. Breathing here. Reaching that right arm over the ear. Pulling back with the right outer hip. And then letting that right arm pull you down and around too. The wide leg forward. And lengthening out and coming up, big front body yawn. And pressing the arms down. And we'll rotate the left leg out 90 degrees into the warrior two. Inner thigh, inner knee, center of the foot. Shoulders down, lift from the center. Lift from underneath the arms rather than pulling from the tops of the arms. And then tilting into the triangle. And breathing. Every breath renews your presence. Every breath subtly refines and gives the pose. And reaching the right arm over the ear, trying to pull back a little at the same time. And pulling down with the right arm to the lunge. Step into the plank. Through the vinyasa, downward facing dog. Taking 3 deep breaths here in downward facing dog. And coming down, sitting back in child's pose. And come up into simplified Virasana. Good again. Maybe it's a little easier now, maybe not. Sitting very attentively. And then we'll ripple. So doing 3 or 4 ripples each direction, reaching through the collarbones. And then going the other way if you didn't switch directions yet. And then we will slide out into the Sphinx. Ah, here we are again. And let's bend the knees. And we'll make our way all the way to the bow pose. Or maybe this is your bow pose for today. Another option is bow pose with the interlocked fingers, or maybe getting hold of the ankles and lengthening and lifting. And then coming down, releasing the ankles, taking a couple breaths here. And then coming up, maybe a couple cat and cows. And then we will make our way onto the floor on our back. Down. So we're going to do the drop the knees to the side twist today, though you can do anything you want. And if it's going to be okay for your knees, we'll do the version where we cross the thighs over thigh to thigh. And then take a moment, giving those thighs a little squeeze together, squeezing the thighs, and also squeeze the outer shins into each other. Reaching the arms out wide to the side, the knees will go over to the left. If you cross the right leg over the top. Inhale and exhale. So if it's not working to have the legs crossed, you can uncross them. Or you could do the figure four or happy baby. And then coming back into the center. And switching the cross of the legs, left leg over. We get those thighs together, pulling the outer shins against each other as well. And then knees over to the right. back to the center. Disentangling those legs, coming into Shavasana. And exhale, resting into the floor. And then breathing back into your body. Moving the fingers and toes. Stretching the arms up overhead. Bending the knee. And gently making your way up to sitting. And sitting in any comfortable position with a long and spacious spine. Taking another moment, sitting quietly inside yourself. Namaste. Thank you for coming.